I know if you're a New York Jets fan, there was a tale of two Halloweens. There was the first half Halloween, and then there was the second half Halloween. The first half Halloween looked like a bag of vomit. The second, not all that bad. Not all that bad in the second half.
I'm still in utter disbelief.
At which part?
That's all. That they won.
That Houston gave up 8 sacks?
That they won.
Yeah, that was...
Barely, but nonetheless. I mean, I guess now Woody can come from wherever it is he's hiding.
Yeah, where'd he go, by the way?
Wherever it is that he's hiding since saying that we're going to win right away.
Right.
We had to do a culture shift. We had to get it right. Now we're going to win because we got Xerxes out the way.
Woody Johnson pops up to fire coaches and then goes back into hiding.
Yeah,
What's he doing?
I don't know. I mean, he's finally got some validation, I guess. Is that what we're going to call it?
I mean, I was...
What is wrong with the Texans, man?
Well, I don't think they're all that hot this year. I have not.
November can't. You're right.
I have not been impressed with that.
Listen, November. If you're going to be that team, which, I mean, I still consider them to be a pretty decent team, but you're now in November. You can't be losing to teams that you're supposed to beat at this point in the season. You're supposed to be starting to trend in whatever direction the type of team you're in. You're supposed to be starting to trend in that direction. So if you're a good team, you should be trending in that direction. If you're a bad team, you'll probably continue to trend in that direction. So I don't know. If you've been a pretty decent team and you're a bad team, you're going to trend in the direction of being a bad team. That's just where we're at at this point in the season.
I mean, it's week 9, everybody. Like this isn't hey,
that's a real loss. Like you can't sit there and be like, oh, the New York Jets, they stole one. Like, no, this is week 9.
I mean, time flies. Like, we're at week 9, so we're at the halfway point of the season, and it is kind of shaping up as to you are what you are. I still just don't have any clue what the hell the Jets are. Like, I don't know what they like. I thought I had an understanding last night. So first offensive series. Rodgers overthrows Davante Adams. The boos start. I'm like, oh God. Okay. And I remember, and I'm watching the game last night thinking, I've heard this before. And I realized, oh, that's right. This was a Thursday night game against the Jaguars a couple of years ago when the Jets were playing Jacksonville at home at MetLife, and it was Zach Wilson who was getting booed off the field. It was the same reaction, and this is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then you're showing Fireman Ed. I did like Al Michaels taking a couple of swipes at Fireman Ed during the course of the broadcast last night. But like that whole first half, Davante Adams had a drop. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And then something happened in the second half. They found a rhythm. They got some people. Garrett Wilson's catch is one of the great catches you'll ever see. And you look at it and you go, okay, well, maybe that's the start. Maybe this is what sparks them and sends them on this run. And then you realize, well, no, we probably thought that the last time they won a game, which was also a Thursday night, and that was weeks ago. So I don't know what to do. Like I don't
know why not.
Like I don't know I don't know what to make of the team. I really don't. And it's very bizarre.
It's not a very good team. It's not a very good team. I mean, I was expecting them to get their win, their one, shot of hope in the arm against the Patriots. And they didn't even do that. I don't think you can come away from this game and think that this is like what? Well, I don't know what type of team it is. Sure you do. It's not a good team. Now, if they transition from not being a good team to living up to the potential that exists on their roster, then that remains to be seen. But that's why it's sports. That's the beauty of sports, is that things can change. They can decide that they want this thing to change. And there's the possibilities that they can make that change and they can try to make those improvements. I don't see that. And if that's what it's going to be, if that's what it's going to turn into, then seeing is believing. But until we see some consistency out of what they're doing. I don't think last night gave me any real indication that this is now the start of the Jets going in the right direction. I won't say that it doesn't, but it certainly is not an emphatic, okay, now here we go. This is the Jets that we've been waiting to see. I didn't see that last night. Did you?
I mean, you want to hear from Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, let's hear what he had to say.
Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Optimistic when it comes to the Jets.
He finally got a win.
He spoke post-game. Here he was.
Kind of season on the line there in the second half. Obviously, we wouldn't have been mathematically eliminated, but mentally, to go to 2-7 would have been real tough. Hopefully, it's give us confidence so that we can beat anybody because we feel like we could. The way we played on offense in the second half is the way we've been kind of waiting for this offense to wake up. And I know, obviously, I was, close to perfection as I needed to be, but that's a standard I need to play at.
So say that again. He wasn't as close to perfection as he needed to be.
No. And he kind of owned that.
He was some wild out his mouth,
he was on Amazon Prime post game, and he basically said like I just missed throws. I wasn't good. Like, and that's true. And it's look, they're a 3-1. Like, it's plus 300. They make the playoffs courtesy of DraftKings. So the overwhelming sentiment is that they're not going to make the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, they're going to be a wild card team. So they're going to be going on the road, which maybe that's a good thing because that fan base seems like it's on the brink of hating everybody in New York based on what the Yankees did in the World Series. But I almost would have been happier had they just continued to play like garbage in the first half into the second half and been like, oh, that's it. Okay, we're good here. Like now I have an understanding.
But isn't that why we love sports?
It's just a tease, man, because you look
I don't think it's a tease at all.
All right, Breece Hall is really, really talented. Rodgers is talented. Devontae Adams is talented. Garrett Wilson is talented. The defense was harassing the hell out of C.J. Stroud and destroying that offensive line last night. And then you come away from it, you go, all right, is it going to be another 5 weeks before they win a game again? Like, I just don't know.
But
what to do
isn't
with the
that
team.
how bad teams are? Don't they find, like, I was pretty much on a bad team almost every single year in the pros outside of going to New York my last year.
Didn't you puncture Chris Sims's lung? Was that you that did that for the Bucks in a playoff game?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
Lee, can we look that up? Can you just Google search, did LaVar Arrington almost kill Chris Sims?
I don't know. I almost killed Brad Johnson.
Damn.
I destroyed him in Tampa. Listen, but I guess the point I was going to make is a bad team still has the ability to win games. Like my rookie year, we beat the Ravens, and they won the Super Bowl. And we were a heavily loaded team personnel-wise, by the looks of it on paper, but we did not perform that way. So to me, there has to be a level of consistency before you can start to have the conversation. One win does not lend to the conversation of this team turning it around. Now, one game can lead. Like, you have to start with one before you could get to 2, 3, and 4. So the fact that they have one win in their books, it's a feel-good win because the Texans, to me, whether you don't like them or believe in them, but their record would say otherwise. Their record would say that they're a pretty good team. I know that they're on the losing skid now, but their record would still say that this is a team to be dealt with. Like that, they're going to give you a game. They're going to be problems. They're a winning team. But you don't feel that way about the Jets. And I kind of felt like, honestly, going into the game, would the Texans run over them? Would they continue to put dirt on what would seemingly be a team that's in the casket and in the ground? But there is some life. I don't know how much life there is, but there is some life. And what it is that they have going on. So now they're at, what, 2 wins?
3.
3 wins.
We're trying to short them wins.
Alive.
What's wrong with you?
It's alive.
It could be alive. Could be.
Hey, Lee, did we get any
Could be.
confirmation on LaVar's assault of Chris Sims?
What I did find was that Chris Sims did rupture his spleen in a game versus Carolina, and he thought he had punctured his lung.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't me.
All right, but you did win a playoff game at Tampa Bay.
We did win a playoff.
Yeah.
game.
Didn't you have an interception in that game?
I did, and then I had Marley, who had a hell of a game. Shouts out to Rudy.
What up, Rudy?
She had a hell of a game last night. So for LMU, shouts out to the LMU Lions.
What up, LMU?
Hank's house.
What up, Hank?
So they have the Cardinals next, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, the Jags, the Rams, the Bills, and the Dolphins again.
All right, let's just start with the Cardinals, Colts, and Seahawks.
They go to Arizona.
Yeah.
That's an L.
Do you really?
The Arizona Cardinals are not a bad team.
No, I don't think they're a bad
They're not
team,
a great
but
team, but they're not a bad team.
I
So
don't-
playing at home, time change,
I mean, yeah, but
there's a possibility that they can win the game.
yeah,
But I think they'll lose.
I mean, they go send him over to Bourbon and Bones, get a nice ribeye before the game. Everything should be fine, man. One of those smoky drinks.
Okay, so you want to add that as another one. So 4 wins. They have the Colts at home. How you feel about that?
They can beat Indy.
They can beat Indy
Although I feel less confident
with Flacco
with
being
Flacco
in there. Okay, so what do you think?
No offense, Anthony Richardson. They can beat Indy.
All right, so 5 wins.
And then Seattle, again, I have no idea.
They
what
have
the hell
them
to
at
make.
home.
Yeah. It's possible.
It's possible. Okay, 6 wins.
The next 3 games
The
determine their
Dolphins.
season.
The Dolphins. I don't see it. Not if Tua's healthy.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
see it.
road game, and then a road game against Jacksonville.
I can see them beating Jacksonville. So how many wins is that? 7?
Yeah.
7 wins. The Rams at home.
They could beat the Rams.
Not the way they just played. Not the way that offense just looked. If Polka and Cup stay healthy and Stafford stay healthy, I don't see that as a win. That's too much offense for them.
They're basically the Jets are looking like a
9 win.
to 10 win
Come on,
top
man.
team.
Come on,
Tops team.
I think their ceiling is what I said it was. They won't break 10 wins. They can get to 9. I can see them getting to 9. One of those games we gave them as a dub, they're not going to win. One of those games we gave them as a dub, they're not going to win. Not as we get later into the season.
By the way, how about your guy Malachi Corley
How about
just
him?
deciding, I'm just going to go ahead and leave this ball here before I get into the end zone. I'll just go ahead and set this right here.
Set it right down.
It's like it wasn't even close. Jeff Ulbrich, the coach of the Jets, spoke about that move last night.
Definitely frustrated, to be honest, and angry at the same time. But what an amazing opportunity for this kid to grow and learn from. I promise you, 10 years from now when he's still playing in this league, that will never happen again.
What did you say to him after that?
What's that?
What did you say to him after that?
First of all, you can't do that. And second of all, you owe us one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's listen.
Yored he's a guy. They're lucky to have a guy being at the helm. He's a guy. He's one of us. He played the game. He's a linebacker. So when I say he's one of us, he's literally one of us. So he's a tough, hard-nosed guy. He's like a Campbell type of guy.
He went to linebacker U, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, yeah.
I'm heading to LBU today.
Hell yeah.